The stars were quiet. The galaxy looked peaceful. But peace is often a lie. The Galactic Council had ruled the stars for thousands of years. Big, powerful alien species sat together in their shiny halls. They made the rules. They decided who was weak, who was strong, who lived, and who died. For a long time, they ignored Earth. Humans. Just small, young creatures from a blue planet, fragile, emotional, loud. The Council believed humans were nothing but noisemakers, small species with no real power. But they made a mistake. It all started with a message. On Earth's deep space. Station Orion Commander Sarah Blake stared at her screen. Her team was quiet. Everyone could hear the fear in the room. The message came from the human envoy. The first peaceful mission to the Galactic Council. A proud moment. The best. Diplomats, scientists, and officers were sent. The whole of Earth watched their departure with hope. But now, the message was broken. Static. Faint words cutting through the noise. They're killing us. Don't. Trust them. The voice cracked with pain, fear, then silence. Sarah's hand shook. Play it again, she ordered. The message. Repeated each time, it made the room colder. The crew exchanged nervous glances. They knew what this meant. The Council had killed them. The news hit Earth like lightning. World leaders gathered. The United Earth Assembly sat in silence. Screens showed the last image of the envoy's ship, a proud silver vessel with Earth's flag, now gone, destroyed. President Aiden Cross spoke first. His voice was calm, but his eyes burned with quiet anger. They wanted to test us, he said. They wanted to see if we would cry or fight. The room remained silent. On social media, billions of humans watched. The message, their peaceful hopes turned into rage. Artists painted fallen envoys. Soldiers volunteered in record numbers. Scientists whispered about Project Black Horizon, a secret human military program. The galaxy thought Earth was weak. They were wrong. Meanwhile, the alien side, the Galactic Council laughed. The giant lizard-like Ralzak ambassador slammed, his fist on the table, laughing. Did you see their faces? The humans cried. A feathered Varnock diplomat smiled. They begged for peace. But they are too small, too soft. The others joined in their cruel jokes. They believed the humans would stay quiet, that Earth would mourn, and then forget. But even among them, some were afraid. A young reptilian officer whispered, "You shouldn't have done this. You don't understand humans." But nobody listened. Back on Earth, the factories roared. Deep underground, human engineers built new weapons, faster ships, better armor, deadlier technology. Humanity had always been fast learners, and now they had a reason to learn fast in the shadows. Human generals met in secret. General Sophia Khan placed a hologram of the galactic map on the table. Red dots marked human fleets. Blue dots marked council space. She spoke firmly. They killed our people. They think we will kneel. They forgot history. The others nodded. Humanity's history was not one of weakness. They survived world wars. They rebuilt after disasters. They reached the stars with blood, sweat, and unity. Now, they were ready to show the galaxy, far away on Mars, hidden military bases powered up, ships lifted silently into space. Their dark holes reflected no light. Their engines left no trail. No message was sent to the Council. No warning. Only quiet preparations. Because this time, Earth would not ask for peace. In the cold black of space, Earth's fleet gathered. Dozens of sleek warships, their weapons armed. Their AI systems locked onto targets. Captain Ryan Holt stood on the bridge of the flagship Vengeance. His jaw was tight, his voice steady. "We are not here to start a war," he told his crew, "but we will finish what they started." The crew cheered quietly. Their eyes burned with purpose. The stars outside looked peaceful. But now, the galaxy would learn the truth. Humans were not weak. They were patient. And now, their patience was gone. The message changed everything. And soon, the stars would never forget, in the grand hall of the Galactic Council, tall golden pillars touched the ceiling. Flags of many alien empires waved high. The council members sat on their shining chairs, proud and confident. The news of the human envoy's death had spread across the galaxy. But here, no one looked worried. They were laughing. Ralzak, the reptilian ambassador with green scales and sharp teeth, slammed his claw on the table. His booming laugh echoed through the hall. Humans. They cry over a few deaths. They thought we would respect them. The feathered Varnock diplomat chuckled. They sent diplomats, not warriors. They believed peace would save them. Another ambassador, tall and slim, with blue skin, added, "The humans are weak. They can shout, but they cannot fight." The hall roared with laughter, but not everyone smiled. In a dark corner of the hall, young Counselor Vera, of the silent Serati species, watched quietly. Her species understood danger well. She had seen human history files, wars, rebellions, survival against impossible odds. She knew the Council was making a mistake. Back on Earth, silence ruled the war rooms. In an underground base hidden under the Himalayas, Earth's military leaders sat together. Maps of alien space covered the walls. The room was cold, serious, ready. General Sophia Khan stood beside a large hologram. "The Council laughs," she began. "Good, let them." Soft chuckle passed through the room. She tapped on the map. Red lines showed human ships moving fast and quiet through deep space. "They think we cry," Sophia continued. "They think we beg, but they forgot." "We fight," the others nodded. Their eyes were sharp, their minds focused. The Council had killed their people. Now, it was time to respond. The galaxy didn't notice at first. Human fleets were small. Their ships disappeared into dark space like shadows. They didn't make announcements. They didn't send threats. They hunted, silently on the edge of Council territory. An alien patrol ship floated through the black void. Its crew, a group of cocky young pilots, joked among themselves. "Where are the humans?" One of them laughed, hiding under their beds. But then, their sensors blinked. Unknown ships, approaching fast. Before they could react, sleek black human ships appeared from nowhere, silent, deadly. Boom! The alien patrol ship exploded. Into 1,000 burning pieces, not a single human message was sent. No warning. No mercy. Back on the Council's capital planet, the news arrived. The counselors paused their laughter for a moment. Ralzak frowned. "What happened to Patrol Group 7? The officer replied, voice shaky. "Destroyed, sir." "Don't know how?" Varnock's feathers ruffled in confusion. "Possible. Humans can't do that." But the reports kept coming. Another patrol lost. Communication satellites hacked. Security systems failing. Slowly, fear replaced arrogance. But still, many refused to believe. Coincidence, they said. Accidents, they whispered. Humans can't be that dangerous. But deep inside, they were starting to doubt. Meanwhile, on Earth, Project Black Horizon was fully active. The human fleet now operated in complete silence. Their stealth technology, years ahead of Council expectations, allowed them to slip behind enemy lines. Cyber attacks crippled alien systems. Satellites fell from orbit. Alien supply lines vanished. The Council kept underestimating them. They wouldn't for long on the human flagship Vengeance. Captain Reinhold watched the stars outside. His crew worked silently. Every officer knew their mission. "We strike fear, not words," Holt reminded them. "The galaxy thinks we are weak. Let them," his second in command. Commander Lena Vega smiled. "We'll remind them. Humans don't beg." Holt nodded. The fleet moved again. Shadows in the dark. In Council space, the fear spread quietly. Civilians whispered about the humans. News channels tried to hide the losses, but rumors always found a way. Where are the humans? Why don't they speak? What do they want? But no one had answers, and that was more terrifying than any war. In the council hall, Counselor Vera finally spoke. You should have feared them, she warned softly. The humans, they remember. They survive. They fight. But again, they didn't listen, and soon they would learn the hard way. The humans were coming, and this time they wouldn't ask for peace. The stars were quiet. The danger was hiding in the darkness. On the outer edge of council space, a massive alien patrol ship, the Valar, floated silently. It was one of the best patrol ships of the council, fast, armed, and proud. Inside, Commander Zorvac, a tall, armored alien with gray skin and glowing eyes, stood on the bridge. His crew sat at their stations, bored. We've been out here for weeks, a young officer complained. No sign of humans. Maybe they're too scared too. Show themselves? Zorvac smiled cruelly. Humans. They hide in their little blue world. They won't dare step into our space. But he was wrong. Far away, hidden among asteroids, sleek black human ships floated quietly. They were nothing like the council expected. Small, but deadly fast. But silent, weak-looking. But powerful Captain Reinhold stood on the bridge of the human stealth ship. Shadowspear. His eyes were fixed on the hologram in front of him. The Valor was their target. Holt spoke softly. First contact, but not how they expect. His crew smiled. They knew the council thought humans would beg for peace. But now, the galaxy would beg for mercy. Back on the Valar, the crew relaxed. The scanners showed empty space. No enemies. No movement. Suddenly, the lights flickered. The ship shook slightly. What was that? Zorvac barked. Just an asteroid nearby, the officer replied casually. But the computer screens glitched. Strange codes appeared for a second, then vanished. Zorvac frowned. Check the systems. Now, the officer nodded, fingers flying. Over the controls, but it was already too late. The human ships moved, stealth engines silent, weapons armed. Shields ready. They closed in on the Valor, hidden from all alien sensors. Inside Shadowspear, Holt gave the order. No words, no warnings, just action. Suddenly, alarms blared across the Valor. Unknown ships detected, the officer shouted. How? Zorvac roared. They're right on top of us. Ah! Before anyone could react, the first human torpedoes hit. Boom. Explosions ripped through the alien ship's engines. Fires burned along the hull. The ship shook violently. Panic filled the bridge. Shields failing. Communications down. Who are they? Already knew. Humans. But not the weak, soft species they expected. These humans were hunters. On Shadowspear, Holt watched the enemy ship burn. Hold position, he ordered. Scan for survivors. The alien ship struggled, but its engines were dead. Its weapons were useless. The crew inside screamed orders, but nothing. Worked.co Arvok's eyes filled with rage and fear. They tricked us, he whispered. The galaxy thought humans were primitive, but the truth humans had learned. Fast, hard, deadly. And now, they were fighting back. Within minutes, the Valar was gone. A broken, burning wreck floating in space. The human fleet disappeared as silently as they had come. No message, no demands. Only destruction. News of the attack spread quickly across Council. Space. Military leaders panicked. They can't do this. How did they get past our sensors? Where are they? Where did they go? But there were no answers. Only fear in the council hall. As the mood had changed. The proud, laughing ambassadors were now quiet. Nervous. They're not supposed to fight like this, one whispered. They were peaceful, weren't they? Another asked. Counselor Vera, watching the news, only shook her head. They came for peace, she reminded them softly. You killed their people now. They fight. But still, some refused to accept the truth. It was luck insisted. A small raid, they claimed. Humans can't be a real threat. But deep inside, they were afraid because the humans had made first contact. And it was nothing like they expected. On Earth, the people watched the news in silence. Destroyed alien patrol ship, the human fleet. Safe. The message was clear. Earth wasn't weak. Earth wasn't afraid. And Earth was coming. In space, hidden human ships continued their mission. They were ghosts in the dark. Hunters among the stars, and the galaxy was their new battlefield. The council had laughed. But now, the laughter was over. The stars were not silent anymore. They whispered one word. Humans. Across the galaxy, fear was spreading like wildfire. News traveled fast, faster than light. Everywhere it carried the same message. The humans were coming. They were angry, and they were dangerous. On the capital planet of the Council, thousands of aliens filled the streets. Markets buzzed, but the air was different now. Smiles were fake. The jokes were forced. Everyone had heard the rumors. Screens flashed. Breaking news. Another patrol destroyed. Council ships missing, or the humans. Really? Alien children stared at the screens, wide-eyed. Shops sold protective charms. Citizens whispered in the shadows. No one knew where the humans were. No one knew when they would strike next. And that was terrifying. In a luxury building high above the city, the council leaders met again. This time was no laughter. Ambassador. Ralzak slammed his fist on the table. His sharp teeth bared. Scales looked pale. This is impossible, he roared. Humans cannot, should not, be capable of this. Varnock, the feathered diplomat, ruffled his wings nervously. Our patrols vanish. Our satellites go offline. Our people panic. Another counselor hissed. We underestimated them. But how did they learn so fast? In the corner, Counselor Vera watched them all with cold, silent eyes. I warned. You, she said softly, but you chose arrogance, Ralzak growled. It's not over yet. We still control the galaxy. But even he didn't sound confident anymore. Across the stars, human cyber attacks continued. Alien communication networks glitched. Military databases were hacked. Ships lost power. Satellites fell from orbit. On the planet Drellis 9, a council military base went dark for 2 hours. No power. No signals. No idea what happened. When the lights returned, the base's main weapon system was missing. Stolen? No one saw the humans. No one heard them. But their mark was everywhere. On a council news channel, a famous alien reporter spoke. Live, galactic citizens. Remain calm, she lied. The council has everything under control. But behind her, citizens rushed to buy supplies. Ships prepared for evacuation. Families whispered, what if Earth attacks next? The council could not hide the truth anymore. Fear is everywhere. Meanwhile, in the darkness of deep space, the human fleet waited, hidden among dead moons and cold asteroid fields. Human ships floated silently. Their engines were quiet, their weapons armed. Their mission not yet finished. On the human flagship Vengeance, Captain Ryan studied the latest reports. Alien panic. Council mistakes. Galactic fear growing stronger. His second in command, Commander Lena Vega, smiled slightly. We haven't fired a single shot today, but they're already afraid. Holt nodded. Fear is a weapon, and they handed it to us. In hidden war rooms across Earth, generals watched the same reports. General Sophia Khan addressed her team. The council thought they owned the stars, she said. They forgot one thing. Humans adapt. Her team nodded. Scientists, engineers, and soldiers worked together. New weapons were being built, better ships tested. And every human prepared, because Earth didn't start this war. But they were ready to finish it. Back in the council hall, arguments filled the room. Open talks with Earth. One counselor shouted, no, show strength. Another yelled, strength, Vera whispered. You mean the strength that already failed? The room fell silent for a moment. Even the proud council could feel the fear now. In alien homes, families locked their doors. Shops sold human-proof equipment, useless, but it made citizens feel safer. Schools taught children how to hide during a human attack, but no walls, no shields, no lies could stop the truth. The humans were not weak. Humans were not soft. The humans were not afraid anymore. And somewhere, among the stars, they were watching, waiting, planning, their fleet hidden, their weapons ready, their patience cold as ice. The council believed they ruled the stars. But now, they were learning. The stars belonged to the ones who could survive the darkness, and humans were the masters of survival. The galaxy would never be the same again. The planet Carthon Prime floated like a shining jewel in space. It was beautiful, but deadly. This was no ordinary planet. It was the second most powerful world in the Galactic Council. Massive cities, advanced shipyards, strong defenses, and millions of soldiers. The Council called Carthon Prime their shield of the stars. They believed no enemy could ever touch it. They were wrong. High above Carthon Prime, massive alien defense ships patrolled the skies. Admiral Vector, a battle-hardened alien with metallic skin and glowing red eyes, stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Hammer. Humans are cowards, he growled. They hide in shadows. They strike small targets. They won't dare come here. His officers nodded. They believed Carthon Prime was safe. They believed the humans wouldn't dare. But they didn't know. The humans were already here, in the cold darkness, just beyond the planet's scanners. The human fleet waited. Dozens of sleek black warships, stealth fighters, advanced battleships, all hidden, like ghosts among the stars. On the human flagship Vengeance, Captain Ryan Holt stood ready. This is not a battle, he told his crew. This is a message. Commander Lena Vega smiled. A message the Council won't forget. The humans had watched Carthon Prime for weeks. They knew its weaknesses. They knew its blind spots. And now, they were ready. Back on the planet, life continued as normal. Citizens walked the streets. Shops stayed open. Children played under the glowing twin moons. But then, the skies changed. A dark shadow spread across the horizon. The human fleet revealed itself. Massive warships appeared from the blackness of space. Silent, deadly, unstoppable. Alarms blared across the cities. Council's military scrambled to respond. Admiral Vector's face twisted in shock. How? How did they get here? The first human strike was surgical. Precise communication towers destroyed. Planetary shields hacked and dropped. Out. Military bases disabled within minutes. It wasn't just brute force. It was skill, intelligence, planning. The Council soldiers panicked. Their most advanced systems useless. Their proud fleets confused. Humans didn't send demands. They didn't ask for surrender. They simply took control. On the streets of Carthon Prime, citizens looked to the sky. Massive human ships hovered silently. No shots fired, no explosions in the city. Just the heavy presence of power. It was not just a military attack. It was psychological warfare. The message was clear. We can crush you anytime we want. Admiral Vector ordered his fleet to attack. Alien ships launched into the sky. Weapons fired wildly. But the humans were ready. Their stealth ships moved like shadows. Their weapons precise and powerful. Alien ships exploded one by one. The Council's proud fleet destroyed in under an hour. Inside Vengeance, Holt watched the battle unfold. Keep civilian areas untouched, he ordered. This is not about killing. It's about showing them. Lena Vega nodded. Show them they are not safe. Show them. They underestimated us. By the time the battle ended, Carthon Prime's skies were quiet again. Burning wreckage floated in orbit. Alien soldiers surrendered. The Council's second most powerful planet was helpless. But the humans didn't stay to occupy it. They Didn't need to. Their message was delivered. Loud, clear, terrifying. Back in the council hall, the leaders watched the live footage in horror. Their fleet appeared from nowhere. One counselor stammered, "Our defense is gone." Another whispered. Ambassador Ralzak's face was pale. Even the proud reptilian warrior had no words now. Counselor Vera spoke softly. "I warned you. You killed their envoy. You laughed. Now, they remind you who they are." Across the galaxy, other alien worlds heard the news. Carthon Prime, the unbreakable shield, had fallen, and Earth had not lost a single ship. Fear turned to panic. Respect turned to terror. The galaxy finally understood. Humans were not weak. They were not soft. They were not afraid, and they were not done yet. The Council's pride was broken. First, their patrols vanished. Then their fleets were destroyed. And now, even Carthon Prime had fallen without a proper fight. The galaxy watched in silence. The mighty Council, once feared by all, now looked weak in Earth. Earth looked unstoppable. Inside the Grand Council Hall, tension filled the air. No one laughed anymore. The ambassadors' faces were pale, their proud eyes now filled with fear. Ambassador Ralzak slammed his fist on the table, but his voice shook. We must stop them," he said, "before they strike again."
Knock.
The feathered diplomat shook his head. "Stop them. You couldn't even see them coming. They took Carthon Prime without warning." Another counselor whispered, "They could be anywhere, not watching us." Right now, the room fell silent. The truth was clear. Military force had failed. Fear had spread. And now, there was only one option left. They had to bargain. With Earth, a secret message was sent from the Council to Earth. It was short, polite, desperate name. "Your price? What will it take?" "For peace." For the first time in galactic history, the proud Council begged. On Earth, inside a hidden war room, human leaders gathered. President Aiden Cross read the message aloud. His face was cold. His voice steady. "Now, they want peace," he said. "They want to talk. After killing our envoy." The room stayed quiet. Generals, scientists, diplomats all waiting for his decision. General Sophia Khan leaned forward. "We could crush them completely," she said. "But this is our moment to rewrite the rules." President Cross nodded. "Let them beg." He replied, "Let them remember who they underestimated." A single-line reply was sent back. "The price is justice." In the council hall, the message arrived. "Justice." The word echoed in the room like a threat. "What does that mean?" Barnock asked nervously. Counselor Vera answered simply, "It means they want the ones responsible for their envoys." Death. The room erupted in whispers, fear, confusion, betrayal. The council had many enemies among themselves. Now they had to decide, protect their own, or sacrifice them to Earth. In secret rooms, council leaders fought and argued. Some refused to bow to Earth. Others, terrified of another human attack, were ready to hand over their own. The galaxy watched. Waiting on news channels, talks with Earth begin. Council divided over demands. Human fleet, still missing. Civilians panicked. Markets crashed. Alien worlds prepared for the worst. The humans had done what no one thought possible. They brought the council to its knees. Without even firing a shot this time. Meanwhile, in the dark corners of space, the human fleet remained hidden.
Hi there.
Ships silent, their weapons ready. Watching. Waiting. Captain Ryan Holt stood on the bridge of vengeance, calm and focused. "They will betray each other," he predicted. "They always do when they're afraid." Commander Lena Vega smiled. "And when they do, we strike the final blow." Back on the Council's homeworld, the betrayal began. Secretly, Council agents captured the ones responsible for the envoy's execution. Powerful leaders, proud generals, arrogant diplomats. They were dragged from their homes in the middle of the night, locked away like criminals. The message was sent to Earth. "We have your justice. Let's talk peace." But Earth wasn't done yet. In the final message, President Cross made it clear. This is not just about justice. This is about respect. You will never touch our people again. Or next time. We won't stop at Carthan Prime. The council had no choice. They agreed, humiliated, broken, terrified. Across the stars, alien civilians breathed a sigh of relief. No war yet. But they knew. Everything had changed. The galaxy no longer belonged to the council alone. A new power had risen. And Earth. Earth had shown the stars what happened when you underestimated humanity. But deep down, everyone knew this wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. The council thought the worst was over. They gave Earth justice. They made peace talks. They hoped the humans would stop, but they forgot. Humans never forget. And they never forgive that easily. Far away in the cold dark of space, the real battle was ready to begin. The target. The core defense fleet. The most powerful military force in the galaxy. Thousands of warships, hundreds of stations, endless weapons. The council believed this fleet was unbeatable. They called it the Wall. It's a final line of defense around their homeworld. But today, that wall would fall in the shadows Earth's. Fleet prepared. On the human flagship Vengeance, Captain Ryan Holt stood before his crew. The screens showed a giant map, the core defense fleet glowing red. This is it, Holt said firmly. The galaxy thinks they are safe behind that wall. We will show them. Nowhere is safe from us. The crew nodded. Their faces were calm, but their eyes burned with determination. Commander Lena Vega smiled. They wanted to test us today. They get their answer. The Council's core fleet waited near their homeworld. Massive alien battleships floated in perfect formation. Space stations armed to the teeth. Defense platforms aimed at every possible entry point. Admiral Corvus, leader of the fleet, watched the stars, his voice full of pride. No one passes this line, he said. Not even the humans. But he didn't know. The humans were already inside. Earth's fleet didn't come through the front. They didn't march in loudly. They came like shadows. Through the smallest cracks, through forgotten space lanes, invisible, silent, deadly, the first strike was a whisper, a cyber attack. Alien defense grids shut down, missile systems froze, station alarms stayed silent. The aliens never saw it coming. Suddenly, the human fleet appeared. Massive dark ships dropping from stealth, their weapons glowing with quiet power. Their AI systems faster than any alien tech. Admiral Corvus's eyes widened. Where did they? How? It was already too late. The battle began. Alien ships rushed to respond. Lasers fired, missiles launched. But the humans, they were ready. Earth's ships moved with perfect timing. Their stealth systems made enemy targeting useless. Their AI hacked alien weapon systems. Mid-battle, their tactics. Brutal, precise, unstoppable. One by one, the core defense ships exploded. Alien commanders screamed orders. But confusion and fear ruled them now. On the ground, council leaders watched in horror. Live feeds showed their mighty fleet burning. Panic filled the halls. We can't stop them. They're inside our lines. They'll be at the homeworld soon. Ambassador Ralzak's pride was gone. Varnik's feathers drooped. Even the proudest counselors were silent. Counselor Vera spoke coldly. They told you. Never underestimate humans. The battle raged on. Human dropships disabled defense platforms. Fighter squadrons weaved through the chaos. AI-driven drones targeted enemy weak points, the core. Defense fleet, the galaxy's greatest shield, was falling apart. Admiral Corvus, beaten and furious, made his final order. All ships retreat. Save yourselves. But retreat was impossible. Now, the humans controlled the battlefield. On Vengeance, Captain Holt gave the final command. Hold fire, they've had enough. The remaining alien ships floated, powerless. Earth had made its point. They didn't need to destroy the Council's homeworld. They didn't need to wipe out cities. They had broken the Council's pride. They had shattered the strongest fleet in the galaxy, and they had done it. Without mercy, across the stars, news spread like wildfire. The core defense fleet destroyed. Earth reaches the gates of the Council. No one is safe from the humans. Alien worlds fell silent. Markets crashed. Leaders trembled. Council was finished. Back in the council hall, leaders stood frozen. Their walls, their fleets, their pride, all gone. The humans had proven one thing. They didn't start wars. But when pushed, they ended them. And now, the stars belonged to Earth. The war was over. But the fear was only beginning. The Council's core defense fleet was gone. Their homeworld. Defenseless. Their leaders. Broken. Across the galaxy. Billions watched their screens. Alien news channels repeated the same headlines. Earth has won. The Council surrenders. Humanity controls the stars. No one could believe it. The youngest species in the galaxy. The so-called weak humans had shattered the most powerful empire ever known. Inside the council hall, silence filled the grand chamber. The proud flags still hung. The golden pillars still stood, but the leaders? They looked smaller now. Afraid, defeated, humbled. President Aiden Cross of Earth stood before them, his face calm, his eyes cold. Behind him, human soldiers guarded the room, silent, watching. Unmoving, Cross spoke slowly, every word heavy with power. "You killed our envoy," he began. "You laughed at us? You thought we were weak? You thought we would beg?" The counselors stayed quiet. No one dared interrupt him. Cross continued. "We sent diplomats. You sent murderers. We wanted peace. You gave us war. We came with words now. We come with victory." His voice echoed through the hall like thunder. Counselor Vera was the only one still brave enough to meet his eyes. Whispered, "What do you want from us now?" The answer was simple. "Justice has been done," Cross replied. "Your fleets are gone. Your defenses are gone. But Earth is merciful." A single document appeared on the table of peace treaty. "Sign this," Cross ordered. "Accept Earth as your equal. Acknowledge your crimes. Promise this never happens again." The counselors exchanged nervous glances. There was no choice. They signed. One by one, the treaty marked the end of the Council's rule, the beginning of something new, the age of Earth. Across the stars, the galaxy reacted. Some alien species cheered. The Council had ruled with arrogance for too long. Others trembled, afraid of the new human power. But all agreed on one thing. The humans were not weak, they were not soft, they were not afraid. And most importantly, they never forgot. As the human fleet prepared to leave Council space, Captain Ryan Holt stood on the Bridge of Vengeance. His crew watched the stars in silence. Commander Lena Vega asked softly, "Do you think they'll respect us now?" Holt smiled, but it was not a warm smile. "It doesn't matter," he replied. "They'll fear us. That's enough." The human ships turned towards home. The mission was complete, but the galaxy would never be the same. On alien worlds, stories spread of how Earth had shattered fleets, crushed planets, and forced the proud council to kneel. Alien children whispered, "Don't make the humans angry. Never underestimate Earth." And the old ones replied, "The stars remember. But the humans remember more." On Earth, celebrations filled. The city's flags waved. People cheered, but deep inside, they all knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy was vast. The enemies many, odd. But so were the humans. Brave, united, dangerous. They had survived. They had fought. And they had won. Now, the stars belonged to them too. The final message was simple. Broadcast across every channel, every planet, every corner of space. President Cross's voice echoed. "We never wanted war. But if you bring it to our doorstep, we will finish it. And when we finish, we never forget." The message ended. The screen faded to black. The galaxy held its breath, and Earth turned to the stars. Victorious, respected, feared. The end.